You're listening to People Think About It. Delve into the world of relationships, business, and politics with hosts Lamar Clark, Dorshell Clark, and Dominique Hagler on People Think About It, where thought-provoking discussions abound.
Hey, welcome to People Think About It. Today we got some special guests in the studio here at People Think About It. We got Miss Zelda Marshall, we got Miss Debbie and Miss Alyson, and they're all from my hometown, Baltimore, Maryland. So what we're going to do today, these three wonderful ladies, and we have cousin Nat in the house, and my brother Ivan, and we're going to talk about never giving up on your dreams or aspirations, no matter how old you are, no matter how young you are, no matter what you're doing, because what other people may not think or see as something you can prosper from, that might be your point in life. So we're going to start off talking about your dreams and aspirations, and you know how to just keep that oomph in you. Mm-hmm. So let's start off with Miss Marshall. Miss Marshall is really a talker. So let's start off with you, Miss Marshall.
Yeah, well, you know, I talk with Marky all the time about business and Lamar. We call him Marky back. And but one thing, you know, I love working on personal development. You know, working on yourself. You know, chasing success. It's just that. You're just chasing success. But to become a success, you got to work on yourself first. You got to work on how you think, because it starts with your mindset, okay? If you don't think you can do it, you're not going to do it.
Right.
If you think it's out of reach, you're not going to even try to strive for it. So I try to always believe that if one person can do something, I can as well, you know? So... You know, I start with reading. I do a lot of reading on self-help books, of course, the Bible, but just books in general on personal development, you know, how to think and how not to take things personal, and, you know, and belief in yourself, because it comes, you know, with that.
Because I always tell people, too, success is a multitude of things to a multitude of people.
Absolutely.
You know, you could have been an alcoholic and no longer drink. That's successful to you.
That's
you know
exactly
what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
You could have been someone that struggled in school, and now, like you say, Zelda, you picking up books and reading books. That's success to you.
Absolutely.
And we got to stop putting success so much on monetary things, like money and stuff like that, because, you know, we get so lost in the money world that we start beating up on ourselves, and we let society say, well, you're not doing well because you're not driving a Mercedes, you don't live in this community, and this and that. But you know what? If you was homeless and you live in a room, you're successful because you're no longer on the street.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
So, you know, success and those aspirations is a multitude of things to a multitude of people.
That's
What do you have to say about that, Miss Debbie?
I agree with what you both said, but I also think of it as doing more. I'm a doer. If I can get out there and do it, and I might feel, oh gosh, I'm just keep pushing. I just got to keep pushing myself to get out there and do more. And to me, that's success.
Yes.
Being able to get out and do it. Put my hands on it.
Right.
Yeah, I want to struggle if I have to.
You want to put your hands in the dough like a cook.
Sometimes you do have to struggle. Sometimes
the result is what you're gunning for and you just got to keep going, not giving up.
Right. How about you, Miss Alyson?
I agree 100%, and I also believe it's good to have people that believe in you, who may not understand your dream, but won't turn against you or talk against you. You want to surround yourself with positive people, because that can be your downfall too, listening to people who didn't have that dream in their heart. They don't understand what it is you're trying to do. But as long as you are surrounding yourself with positive people and people who want to see you do well, even if that's not your dream.
And that's another thing.
You
can't tell everybody your dream. Everybody's not built for your dream. Everybody's not built to want to see you succeed in life. You know, it's like I often tell people, you know, life is not about losing. It's never about losing. You take that L and turn that L, instead of saying I lost, say I learned something. You take that L as a learning process, because life in itself is just a learning process. When it's all said and done, none of us really know how to map this thing out. You know, but we go day to day. We get up every day learning something that can propel us forward.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And everything is not for everybody.
No.
But, you know, you definitely want to stay away from dream killers.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to say I
Absolutely.
lived it. I actually lived it. It was mine. It was my concept, and I carried it through. I saw it through. And yeah, so.
Absolutely. You know, like I said, you know, you're a success when you start working on yourself. You know, what you got to work on in life to achieve whatever the goal is.
Yeah.
Whatever the goal is to, like you said, you know, you was living on the street, now you in a room. If that was your goal, and I'm gonna rent a room. Okay, you did what you had to do because you got to do something.
Right.
You know, you got to have faith. You pray and you bring God into the picture. You have faith in God that He's going to send you in the right direction. Then you got to move.
Right.
Because see, faith without works is dead.
I totally agree with
You
that.
got to work. Like you said, you a worker, you got to work. And you got to believe in the project that you're working on. And while you're working, you got to constantly, because even when you come up against some obstacles, you know, and at the age that we are, all of us in this room right now, we done been through some stuff. So we know that things can fail. We know that things ain't. And when we get that out the way, that's why a lot of people in their 50s, 60s succeed quicker and amass great wealth because they got some of that stuff already out the way.
Yeah.
They, you know, they done been through some stuff. It's like, bring it on. I can deal with it. I can handle it. And I'm going to keep pressing and keep pushing as long as God give me that strength.
Right.
My mind, I'm still in my right mind. You got to still do stuff, though. You got to read.
Everybody got to understand this. Without motion, nothing moves. You know what I mean? You just reach for that water. It took motion to go pick up that water. You know, you drove down the road, Cousin Ned and my brother Ivan, they drove 700 miles to come visit. It take motion. And people, they got to understand this. If you want to succeed in life, you must start motion. You got to move forward.
Get
you know
in
what?
motion.
You can a car, even though it has drive neutral in reverse, but it's meant to go forward.
Right.
You know what I mean? Nobody, you never see nobody driving a car in reverse all the way down the road.
No.
You know, reverse was only put there because I'm trying to get around an obstacle. You know what I mean? Neutral was put there because, you know what? Sometimes in chasing my dreams, sometimes I got to sit there and meditate and redirect myself, you know? And like you was just saying, instead of going down 85, I might got to take a back road. You know what I mean? So we got to understand the position that we in when we're talking about, you know, reaching our aspirations and not giving up on our dreams and things of that nature, you know? Because like you say, Debbie, your dream is your dream. It might not be this person's dream. Maybe I do share it with you. Maybe you don't believe in me, right?
Exactly.
And we have a lot of dream killers in this world. You know, they will tell you in a minute, man, you get out here. That ain't gonna happen.
Right. Or you too old.
Or you too old.
You're too old. Your time is past.
If it don't kill you, make you stronger.
That's right.
So
but your time has never passed. Honestly, God gives us, you know, like you said, on a GPS, you know, if you're going in the wrong direction, it will reroute you to go another direction. So that's us in life, you know. Lord, okay, I took this path. That didn't work. Where should I go now? What should I... You never give up. You keep plugging. If you get a good plan or good opportunity, do it. And believe that you can do it. And like you said, get people around you that's going to cheer you on and support you and say, you can do it.
Right.
You can do it. I have a mentor, and it's great to have a mentor, you know. And I have a mentor that, you know, believes in me all the time and constantly calls me and pushes me.
You up.
What are you doing? Let me tell me what your agenda is today. You know, what's on your schedule? What you got planned? Because you got to map that thing out. You just can't get up and wing it. You know, sometimes we do get up and wing it, but you know, but it's better when you write the vision and make it plain so you can see. You know, and the Bible even talks about that. I know some people don't want to always hear about the Bible, but, you know, it talks about write the vision, make it plain, so that they that read it can run with it, you know. So, I mean, everything we need to do is in the Word.
And those that are looking at your success, please understand there is no overnight sensation.
Oh, my goodness.
Sometimes you look at somebody and you're thinking, oh, yeah, I can do that. And You have to put the work in. It's no way around it.
That's
Just
right.
because you see the success, you don't know what came
They've been through.
before
That's right.
what you see
That's
as a
exactly
success.
right.
You have to put the work in.
That's
And
right.
if you're not willing to do that, then you're setting yourself up to fail.
That's
you know,
right.
I'm a
You're
firm
right.
believer in this too. What you said, I'm a firm believer that everybody should find themselves a mentor.
Yes.
Everybody.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And like you say, and then you have to put in the work.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
And
Understand the work.
Yes.
Understand what you're doing. Do the research. If you want to be a chef, I don't mean you got to go to school, but be around people that's doing it.
That's it.
Being a chef is not just cooking the food. I'm mentoring the next person to take my place.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you're not ready to take my place, step aside.
That's
Make room
right.
for somebody else.
Right.
That's right.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
a lot of folks don't do that.
No.
And then you have the folks who say, I believe you, but you better slow down because this is it. Right. Why I gotta slow
Right,
down?
right.
This might happen.
I used to have
Yes.
an aunt, my Aunt Ada, she used to say, give out, but don't give up. That was her. She said, I don't care what you say. She said, you might give out, but don't give up.
That's right.
Right.
Never
Yeah.
give up on yourself. If you're still here and you got lungs and you got air in your lungs and breath in your body and you got health and strength, you know, that's the main thing. We got to take care of this.
Right.
The
right.
mental,
We got to take
yes.
care of this. That's first.
Right.
Because you can't, you know,
It's
you
your
know,
temple.
when you on, that's right. And when you're on the airplane, they, you know, when that oxygen mask drop down, what they tell you?
Save yourself
Self
first.
That's right. Secure that mask on you, then you can help somebody else.
Exactly.
So get
Okay.
you straight.
Yeah, and just
And
like
then
when
you
Marky
can
help
said,
somebody else.
when Marky said, give out, you might give out, but don't give up.
Yeah.
Your dream, it may get put on hold. Something could
Yeah,
happen, and you're
that's
like, wait
right.
a minute, I have to set this here for a minute.
That's right.
I remember a friend of mine was building, he bought a house and he was renovating it to make apartments. And the banks were acting crazy with him. He said, you know what? I'm going to get this house the way I want it and I'm going to do it. He put his money in there. He did some work. When he ran out of money, he stopped. Went did something else, made some more money, came back. Next thing you know, 3-apartment building, full.
Kept on it. Kept.
Right.
That was
He
his
kept
dream.
believing.
He,
He
said,
believed it.
He said, I'm going to get it, and I'm going to get it on my terms. And he did it.
Absolutely.
So you might sometimes have to give up for a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, give out for a minute.
Right. Put it
But
on
you
the side.
don't want to
Give
give
up.
up.
You never give up.
Yeah.
You know, look at the guy that did McDonald's. He was 65 years old when he did McDonald's.
Oh my God. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, Wendy's guys were 60-something years old.
And
Sometimes
Colonel
your
Sanders,
right. Sometimes
62.
your finer years don't come until you get that wisdom. Because I
Right.
always tell, even when I'm speaking to young people, I said life has nothing to do with age.
Right.
When you really understand life, life is about wisdom and knowledge.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And once you understand, you know, it's like you speak about the Bible, like, well, King Solomon, that joke was already rich.
Yeah.
You know, that joker already had a bunch of concubines. But when God asked him, he said, give me wisdom and knowledge.
Yep.
So I may set my people free.
Free. Yeah. That's right.
So, you know, it's just like all of us sitting here at this table, you know, just like Ivan just said about a chef. You know what I mean? It's more than just cooking, but I'm going to teach you this trade.
Yeah.
So that, you know what?
You can
Give
feed
me the
yourself.
wisdom.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
You know what I
right.
mean?
Yes.
And, you know, it's you know, one of the things that I share with young people too is like one of my greatest uncles, Uncle Arthur. He used to say, "Hey, pay to be grown." You know what I mean? And you got to understand these. You know, these people come with you, as we used to call them country sayings, but it got a lot of validity and understanding
wisdom,
to it. But it
knowledge.
takes wisdom to understand what he said. Pay to be grown.
Yeah.
And until I got grown, I didn't understand what he was saying.
That's right.
It pays to be grown. And I said, "Oh my
My
goodness."
goodness.
right.
But
Yeah.
that's why people mass great wealth in later in life. Like you said, Colonel Sanders, the Wendy's person,
Yeah.
he did. A whole bunch of them. Bloomberg massed wealth in his 50s, billions of dollars. Why? Because he got all of this other stuff straightened out and out the way. You ain't tripping about whether you failed and whether somebody told you no, it didn't shoot you down. Somebody tell you no, that just says to me, okay, I'm closer to the yes.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm closer to the yes.
I
So
can
you're gonna
show you
find
better than I can tell.
That's right. And you're gonna find people that if you share a great opportunity with them or any business or any idea, they're gonna say, I want to do that. You know, you're gonna find people that don't. You might find 10 that don't, but you're gonna find that one that will, and that one might be the one
Right.
to make you wealthy.
We just had that conversation just the other day. you know, you can talk. You can set 100 people in a room and talk to those 100 people, and one person may get it. But you don't know the impact and the power of that one person.
Right.
And I use the example of somebody spoke to Martin Luther King. This man changed the nations. He changed the world.
Yes.
In his and he was just one man.
Yes.
Right.
And he had a multitude of people following him.
Right.
You know, you can even take Jesus Christ. One man had a multitude of people following him.
That's right.
So you know that when you chase it, your dreams and your aspiration, you may look at yourself as that one person, but you don't know the lives that you change. You know, you never know who life you have touched.
Right.
Because you may say something to somebody and walk away. And I always tell people this: people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime.
That's right.
You know, everybody, you know, that come into your life. You might be working on a project, and somebody may walk in your life and say, hey, I did that. If you go this direction, this will, and you never see that person again.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely.
And
they dropped that one little nugget,
Right.
and you held on to that to propel you forward in what your dreams and goals are. It's amazing. It's amazing. It pays to get older. I mean, sometimes we don't want to get older. We're like, oh, I'm getting older. I'm pushing this up. I'm pushing that up. But the wisdom.
The wisdom is it.
The wisdom, the knowledge, the fact that, you know, I'm going to step it up. And, you know, we got to step it up. You said I'm a doer. We gotta, you know what you need to do. If we left to our own devices, we'll keep, you know, sitting on the couch, eat the popcorn or whatever. But sometimes you gotta be your own motivator. And say, get up, go to the gym, go for a walk, you know, eat right, put them cookies down, you know, pick up the carrots. You gotta motivate yourself,
right?
Because it starts here.
And realize that we have a generation coming behind us that will be here long after we're gone.
We hope.
So you want to leave them
These jokers out here, boy.
until God says no. But we want to make sure that we leave positive energy and examples for them so that they can, even if they don't understand it now, maybe when they get out age, they will say, you know what?
Better click in.
I remember my mother said that.
That's
I remember my grandmother said
do
that.
Well,
right, exactly.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Exactly.
But you know, I also think if you're living out your dream and aspirations, and you're trying to achieve a goal, I think the biggest thing that anything you're trying to achieve in life, you need to ask yourself the who, the what, and it's like my wife and I always talk sometimes. What is your why? Why? Because you may be chasing something that you ain't even supposed to be chasing. You know what I mean? You're doing it because you've seen somebody else doing it. But that's their why. That ain't your why. That ain't your who. That ain't your what.
True.
Who, what, when, and why. When am I gonna accomplish this? Why am I even doing it? What's going to happen? Who do I need to talk to? You know, you got to ask yourself the who, what, when, and why. You know, and then if you can't answer that who, what, when, and why, maybe you chasing the wrong thing.
Or revamp it. Just figure out what is your why. You know, they said if your why don't make you cry, it ain't big enough. You know, maybe you said I'm doing this because I want to pay a few bills. That's not strong enough.
Right.
You know, that's not strong enough. You got to say, I'm doing this because I want to retire. Or I'm doing this because I want my grandkids to be educated. Or, you know, I want to leave a legacy. It has to be a big why.
Right.
You pay a few bills, come on. You can go down the street and get the job at McDonald's.
Or stand out on the corner like people with signs.
And get a couple some change.
But I tell people this too also. Understand, no matter what you do in life, what business you choose in life is never for self. Why is never ever for self.
Right.
So even when you asking yourself your why, you know, and I dip into what you say.
That's right.
Like when Christ, what was his why? To save other people.
He
went up on the cross to save other people. That was his why.
That's right.
You know what I mean? How many of us willing to step on the cross?
Come on, Mahatma Gandhi.
How many of us willing to step? So when you ask yourself that why got to be huge. It ain't just got to be big. It got to be huge.
Like you said, not just about you.
It ain't about you.
It ain't about you. My grandmother used to say that all the time. When you have children, she was like, "Oh, you can forget it. It is not about you anymore. It's about making sure these children are right and taken care of, and then in the process, it'll come back around to you. But right now, it ain't about you."
Right? Because I always ask people. I said, "Do you know your purpose?"
Yeah.
And if you start telling me your purpose, and you start talking about you don't know your purpose. Purpose is
Leaving a
never
legacy
ever for self.
For you, yeah.
It's never ever for self.
No.
And why is never ever for self.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
Your
not.
why got to be big. You know, like you say, maybe, hey, you know what? For 60 years, I didn't try to figure this thing out. I done struggled. I done worked hard and everything. I got grandkids running around here. Guess what? My why, because I don't want them to be 60 and going through what I went through.
Absolutely.
And like you say, Alyson, them jokers young.
Yeah.
And you know what? They might understand your wisdom now, but you embedded it into them that, hey, as I start elevating in life and getting older, you know what? Hey, grandma, grandpa, they put this in place for me.
That's right.
Now I got to complete their why.
That's exactly right.
And that's how you start building generational
That's
stuff.
right.
Yeah.
Generational wealth. Yeah. But that's how sometimes, you know, when you're working on something, you say, wow, you know what? Maybe it wasn't, I'm building this business, but maybe it wasn't for me to be set free, but it was for my children to be set free.
Exactly.
Or my grandkids to be set
Right.
free. You know what I mean? Financially. You never know what that is for.
Right.
But like you said, as long as it's not just about
You.
you getting a car or going on a cruise. It's not about you going on a cruise or going on getting a house. What can you do to change somebody else's life? You know,
Absolutely.
Because that's what we all we are. I am a firm believer that we all here to change somebody else. We're never here for self.
no,
We are a vessel
that's
to be
right.
here to impact somebody else. I mean, you just think all three of y'all came to visit another friend that was from Baltimore,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
And
yeah.
maybe one of y'all was talking to him. You were like, hey, you know, she feeling a little down right now. I mean, because I'm being honest, like. I've been here in Georgia for a while. My wife can tell you, I'm always like, man, I ain't got family around.
I know,
and, this,
I
that.
know.
And when my family comes, that enlightens me. It
Absolutely.
regenerates me.
That's
And
right,
so
that's right.
Keep coming, y'all. Keep coming.
them coming down that road is letting me know that, hey, there's people that still love and care about me. There's people that, hey, God say, hey, I need to regenerate you, man. Because you just,
You
know,
need it,
you know what I mean? And
You need that love.
they also
Right,
sacrifice.
absolutely.
They sacrifice time and effort because
right.
guess what? Driving that road ain't easy.
No.
You know what I mean?
Time, effort, money.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
all of that.
So-
As individuals, we also need to have that little spark of encouragement from a voice.
Yes.
You know, I make it a business of mine. Mark, I don't want nothing. I just want to make sure I can hear your voice and make sure you all right.
That's right.
How many people ask you, are
Are
you all right?
Oh my God.
You know, you can be up there. Prime example. Smokey Robinson, Tears of a Clown. I got the show, but you don't know what's hurting me.
Yeah.
You know?
That's
and
right.
A lot of people keep that inside. That's why suicide is so high.
That's exactly right.
You know, that's why diabetes is so high.
Right.
Because we're stressing and holding stuff.
Right, that's right.
You
You
never
know,
know what
we
somebody
gotta
else is
encourage
going
each other.
through.
And talking about what you saying, that talking about self-care and checking on people, that's
It's
success
huge.
within itself. You know, because you called somebody to say, how are you?
Yeah.
You know, you
don't know what
Right.
what you did to that
for that
person.
person.
How
Yes,
you made
yes,
that person's day,
Yes.
their life,
Right.
a change.
It's
Because
so
a lot
many
of us
people-
dealing with mental health issues right now
Absolutely.
that the world is just really starting to wake up to.
Yes.
Like, you know, people just going to work a 9 to 5 every day is very stressful. You know, as y'all experience the Atlanta traffic, I mean,
She talks about it.
you fight traffic to get to work.
Yep.
You fight traffic to get home. So if you got to be to work, let's say at 7 o'clock, you better be out there at 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Yes.
So that means you're
That's
up
stressful.
2 or 3 hours before you're supposed to be to work.
Yeah.
You get to work 8 hours, right? You done been up 11 hours already. Now you got to get home and take you
Get
another
back.
hour, 2 hours to get home. Then you got to get home. If you got a family, you got to cook, got to deal with the children, this and that and
Sure,
other.
absolutely.
You know, it's but 24 hours in a day.
Yeah. Right,
Then you want to go lay down and sleep, and then you wonder why you're not succeeding.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
because your time.
Right.
Time, let me tell you something. Time is so valuable, and once people understand time, you can't get it back.
No, that's right.
You know what I mean?
Right, that's right.
When today's over, it's over.
so
Ain't no
it's
going
over.
back. You know, we can all reminisce and say what we should have done.
Yeah.
Oh man, you know what? I meant to go to the grocery store. Well, guess what? They gotta wait till tomorrow.
Right.
You know, but
Yeah.
but I try to get people to understand that we live in a society of social media and everything, and this material world and the money and stuff like that, and we forget about time. We forget about time. Everybody has these great ideas. Hey, I'm gonna show you how to make $10,000 in one day, and that, and we get caught up in that. You get caught up in that, and like you say, then you on your computer, and this, and I don't know if y'all experience it. You know, you try to give something, maybe this what this joker talking about is real. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, they done told you their name 3 or 4 times. They done told you their history and stuff. And you be like, when you going to tell me the program? Like, when you going to tell me the program? I done sat in front of this computer for like 5 hours, and you still ain't told me nothing about the business.
Too long, forget it.
So then I get disinterested, I'm moving on to something else. But I done wasted 5 hours. But you supposed to been telling me how to go get money to flip a house and all this other kind of
thing. That next button. I'm on the next slide. Okay, next slide.
And the bottom line, you just needed to up front tell me how much it costs, and then let me know if I want to be involved or not.
Because I'm that kind of impatient person.
You
know, if you got a program, you say, "Hey, I'm gonna show you how to." Okay, I'm gonna listen to you. But I don't need to hear your name 3 or 4 times. I don't need to know your history when you were 5, 6, 7. My daddy told me I was gonna do this. No, if your program costs $500, just tell me it costs $500. Let me make a decision.
I'll wait till the end. Well, he's trying to, get you built up and get trust. You can trust the person. When you hear a little bit about
it, work for me.
But when you got wisdom,
well, I have to do that with a business.
When you get wisdom, you see through the bull crap.
You do. But I mean, you do. You see through the presentation and all of the crap, and you get. That's the one good thing about wisdom. You can see when somebody is smooth and you over. Like, I don't need all that. But I know how to put that over here and go get what I want to get. You know what I mean? I don't get caught up in that. I'm like, okay, that's the way they do it. I don't have to do it like that. Maybe I have to follow the procedure, but I don't have to.
You can tweak it.
I can tweak it and say, I'll do that. That's what age gets.
I think me personally, I think you can capture more people by just outright telling them the truth.
That's true.
Instead of me giving you all this fluff. Because the fluff, sometimes it works, but most of the time it bores a person.
Yeah, that's true. People only got 10 minutes before they
like I said,
they're going to cook for dinner.
Like I said, we live in this world of social media, right? And they always tell you, just like they run a reel, they tell you, hey, don't have that reel more than 30 seconds. Because you're going to lose a whole bunch of them. Like, all right, next.
What am I cooking for dinner?
I'll go scroll all the way to almost the end. What's this about?
But you know what? I send out with my business, and I'll tell you a second about that. But when I send out a 4-minute clip to tell people what it's about, I can see on my app if the person opened it or not. Now, I don't tell everybody that because I don't say, you only looked at a minute of it. It was 4 minutes. You ain't got 4 minutes. But that's how people are. I can see that they opened it, but they won't. Some people do. They watch it 100%. But a lot of people don't.
I don't. I'm sorry.
People don't have 4 minutes.
That's how the world is. But
we all got to slow down.
That's what it's become because it's like you said.
It's fast
I'm thinking of what I got to fix for dinner.
I know.
I got to do this. I
don't take it personal when I look and see that she only watched 2.
If it's me, just know that I went to the end. I just skipped to the end. So I might
when you skip to the end, it's going to tell me you watched it 100%.
Oh, okay.
We don't even have 4 minutes nowadays. We're too busy for 4 minutes. Come on, y'all. We got to slow down a little bit.
Well, let's and we're gonna go around. We're gonna go around the table. We'll start off with Ms. Marshall because we like to end up with show when people are entrepreneurs and stuff. We like to let our audience know what they do. So if somebody in our audience wants to have the opportunity, or they may be trying to become an entrepreneur, what you have to offer, So we're gonna start. We're gonna go around the table, and whoever has a business, we're gonna let them explain and how people can contact you and things like that. So you go first, Ms. Marshall.
All right. Well, I just opened my own virtual dispensary. And, of course, you got a lot of dispensaries popping up all over, brick and mortar on every corner. This is click and order, okay? And it's not just, THC products and cannabis. This is microdosing mushrooms, and it's not the psychedelic mushrooms that make you crazy. These are ones that give you energy, mental clarity, focus, fight cancer. We don't make medical claims, but, hey, a lot of people have been healed with these products. So It's your own virtual dispensary. Like Marky said, don't beat around the bush. You can get into this space for under $500, okay? Under $500, okay? And it's a business that's worth being built because it's only less than like 10,000 distributors.
And how can they reach you, though?
They can reach me. They can call me, 410-967-2912, or you can go on to my website, which is www.canaglobe.biz/Zeta, but you probably, that's my grandbabies call me Zeta. But it's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. I know a lot of people don't like network marketing. I love network marketing, okay? And one reason why is, would you rather have 100% of your own efforts, or would you rather have 1% of 100 people's efforts? Right. Putting money in your pocket. Okay. I love residual income. I love the concept. I'm on my way. It's a wonderful opportunity. And, of course, I shared it. Mark is always somebody I always share in business with. I shared it to him right away. And, I respect him. What do you want to do? He's making it happen here. I'm so proud of you.
Well, thank you very much.
With this, the wisdom that you drop in and just, putting it together and saying, I'm going to follow through with this. Right. And then having the support of your wife. That's an awesome thing. I'm really, really proud of you. And I'm going to say right now, I apologize for not always getting on and seeing, but I'm going to be watching and looking.
Thank you.
For now
we just need our subscribers to hit.
Yeah, and telling people. So you subscribe on what, YouTube?
Well, we're going to tell you at the end.
You're going to tell you at the end?
So, Miss Debbie, do you have a business that you like to put out there?
I just dabble in artwork. So it's just...
Oh, she's so good.
I just dabble. I wine glasses... T-shirts, tennis shoes, anything you need done up.
So how can they reach out to you?
My website is tipsy, TIPSY, the letter N, painting @gmail.com.
Okay.
Tipsy and painting @gmail.com.
You got to text that to me. I never knew
that. And how about you, Miss Alyson?
Wow. So I don't have a business right now, but I am influenced by friends who are starting their business, which is equally important because you never know where you're going to go in life. It's never too late. Please know that there's no age on it.
Nope.
And find something that makes you happy. Because if you feel it in your heart, and that's what God has put on your heart, what they're doing can work for you as well.
Absolutely.
And we want to thank our guests once again. We want to let people know that y'all can reach out to us by going to peoplethinkaboutit.com. That'll straight you to our par page. And if anybody want to come in, they can register as a guest. So also we're on YouTube, and you can go on YouTube and you go at People Think About It, and you can see us the visual on at
Make
YouTube.
Sure you tell them it's all one word.
Yes, it's all one word at People Think About It. We also, like I say, go peoplethinkaboutit.com. We're on all the podcast outlets, and we greatly appreciate you guys coming in and the Baltimore family, and we just want y'all to know we appreciate y'all.
Be sure to subscribe to the show and share it with your friends so that you never miss an episode. A new episode drops every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Thank you for listening.